Stream is live.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. I am Briar Harvey. This is the Neurodiversity Media Network, and we are here today with the fabulous Nicole Barham. We are talking about money mastery. So, we have talked about what's coming in, what's going out, and what the bottom line is. And you can find all of those episodes. I'll link them in the show notes. So, the next question is, how do we start having a conversation with our money? Right?
Yeah. Um, I think that the more less conversation and more looking at the story of our money, right? And we
Okay.
touched at a few sessions back about what story does my money tell me, right? When you're looking at your business finances, is it telling you that you have a profitable business or that your business is in trouble? Is it telling you that you're bringing in the income that you would like to bring in? Or are you falling short of your goals? Is it saying that your expenses are too high and you probably need to get rid of some of the your expenses? Maybe some subscriptions need to go. Maybe you need to maybe you need to pay less for expenses, keeping it within 30 to 50% of your income. So, what story does our money tell us, right? And there, Briar, we're going to move into clarity, right?
This is scary for people. People don't like to know their numbers. I talked to Megan Hale on Tuesday and we went over her new dream money. I have had this exact conversation with Marisa Lowen about her profit map, and all three of them are fundamentally different products and work with your money in different ways. And
Yeah.
yet, the piece that makes all three of those systems work is clarity.
Yes, absolutely. And I think people underestimate the clarity of money, right? Having clarity around their money. You can do so much, so much when you're clear on what's happening with your finances, with your money, right? And it doesn't mean that you have the money that you want. I think a lot of people think, I'll just be clear when I have a lot of money in the bank. And I challenge you to be clear no matter what's in the bank account, right? To just get clear. And a lot of people get clear either when they're in deep, deep doo doo, right? Or when they have a lot of money coming in and they're not afraid to look at it anymore. So when they're really, really scared, or when they're not scared at all, right? And in the middle, there's a happy medium where you can literally start to say, starting today, I'm going to see what's happening with my money. I'm going to start keeping track of my money. There's so many money trackers, Briar, and so many more being made every single day. And we still have a problem where people are still not knowing what's happening with their money.
Listen, Mint still exists, will
And it's,
track your spending for free. It
yes,
will do it all for you. It's 100% automated. You just have to link up your bank accounts. That does not seem to have meant anything still to the majority of people who are one emergency away from
yeah,
losing everything, right?
yeah.
I mean, we all know what these numbers are. They haven't changed, they've just gotten worse.
Yes, absolutely. And I think the latest statistic was that if someone there's a large percentage, maybe 50%, don't quote me on this, of people who are not able to have a $500 emergency, not a big $10,000, $15,000 emergency, $500, right? And so wanting to tell people that it does not have to be that way, right? Discipline, intentionality, um, those are the things that will help you to not worry if you, because you are worried, right? If you think, if you're being honest, if you are thinking I cannot handle a $500 emergency, you are worried. And so, is it easier or better to be worried about a $500 emergency? Or is it better to be clear around your money and start being disciplined enough to take these really small daily steps, right? There's a reason why it's called 5 minute bookkeeper. It's five, you take 5 minutes, not an hour every single day with the finances. Small habits, 5 minutes a day will literally change your life, right? So taking that 5 minutes to be clear, be disciplined, right? Start putting aside more money and say, I don't want to be worried about this $500 emergency anymore, right? How can I do that? Clarity around money helps you to do that, helps you to figure out, can I put aside $50 a week or $20 a week, right? And we're getting into the personal finances here, Briar, but it really does apply across all areas, business and personal, right?
Hmm.
Business savings. If something happens in my business and I have to make this investment quickly, right? Am I able to do that? And again, it's clarity around money.
So I don't think there's any actual numbers on this because I don't think many business owners will admit it. But the number of folks who spend the money as it comes in, rather than holding payments in arbitrage until it's finished, right? You've got to set that money aside, do the job, make sure everything's okay, and then that money can be dispersed.
Right.
So the number of business owners who are spending immediately as the money comes in, the number of business owners who could not actually survive a chargeback.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. And that is why I'm such a huge fan of profit first for businesses. And again, you do not have to have 20 different accounts and all these things that are in the book, right? You at a basic level, you can implement profit first by by allocating money to pay yourself, money for expenses. The requirement is 30% if you're making under 250,000 a year. Putting money aside for savings, right? Putting money aside for business taxes, putting money aside for profit. And it doesn't matter how much money comes into your business. When you allocate it that way, if you have $100 come in, 50 to me, 30 to my expenses, 5%. You know what I mean? That like keep still allocate that money, right? And that will help you so much when you need to dip into your reserves to, again, invest, or if you were paying you don't want to wait for the money to come in. It's like a what do you call it? It's like as soon as it comes in, it goes out, right? Just passing through your account basically. And
Hmm.
so, if you're able to allocate that way so that you're only paying expenses from your expenses account, right? And you're not dipping into your money that you have to put aside for paying your taxes, right? Or money you have to put aside for business savings for a rainy day or whatever. So, again, having the clarity around money and then being disciplined enough to allot or to have different buckets for your income will help you tremendously and not have you just moving money through. As soon as your money comes in, it goes out, and you're like, I made all this money. Where did it all go? And listen, it has happened to me. It has happened to a lot of entrepreneurs. And being able to implement some kind of system, simple system, right, that will help you to not just make money, but to keep more of your money, and be able to manage a rainy day, right?
And I think rainy day, cash cushion, right? This is
Yes.
this is a foundational piece of having clarity around the money, being able to have that kind of fun set aside.
Yeah.
Why is it so hard to build one?
um, this always, Briar, always goes back to how we view money as an individual, as a community, as a society, not talking about money, not focusing on it, or if we talk about it, we talk about it negatively, right? We talk about not having enough, not being able to afford, um, all those things that we grew up with or grew up hearing. A lot of us grew up like that, right? Where money was always an obstacle, and it was hardly a positive thing in our lives, right? And being able to pinpoint, even me, right, being able to pinpoint, oh, this is why this is happening, because of this programming. I can identify that within myself. And that's the thing about a lot of us, is that we're not sure why we do the things we do, right? And we just think that, okay, I don't know why the money's coming in and going out, right? Maybe you grew up in a household where as soon as money came in, it went out, right? I don't know why I can't save. Maybe no one taught you how to save, or there was not enough to save. And so now you're like, I don't have enough to save. And the pattern, it repeats itself over and over. And it has nothing to do with the amount of money you have. It's just the programming and the habits that we've picked up for years and years and years, right? Almost 50 years of programming. It's so difficult for you to now flip that switch and say, I'm going to do things differently. But again, if your goal is to be a financially successful entrepreneur, whatever that number means for you, right? Whether you want to build a $1 million business, a $1 billion business, few $1,000s a year, right? You have to implement these habits and be disciplined. Like there is no way you can build this without discipline. I'm telling you, you can only get so far without being disciplined. You can only get so far without implementing simple habits, simple money habits that will grow your business, right? Because every single decision, and I know that a lot of people might, some people might not agree with me, but that's okay. Almost every single decision that you make in your business has to do with the finances. If you need to hire, can I afford to hire? If you need to invest in systems, can I afford to invest in systems? If you need to pay yourself, if you need to go on a vacation, right? How much do I pay myself in order to go on this vacation? How much, if you want to pay your kids' tuition, how much do how much can I afford to pay the tuition, right? So much personal and in business life is based on the finances, and the fact that we're literally acting like they don't exist, right, while making the decisions, is the reason why we're going to always, unfortunately, be scrambling, stressed out, worried about money, because of these, we're not really being clear on our money and not implementing simple habits to do that.
And part of the issue here at the Neurodiversity Media Network is
Mhm.
that habits can be really, really hard for
Yes.
us. Habits are not native. So
Right.
there's been some research done that seems to indicate that in a neuromajority brain, the habit does actually get implanted and then it becomes a thing that you do. In a neurodivergent brain, we don't make those connections because
Right.
we have all of the connections. And so a habit is something you choose each and
Right.
every time. And that makes choosing to have clarity around your money a thing that you have to really come at mindfully, right?
Yes. Um, Almost every, and I think other people who are neurotypical have the same or similar issues where it's extremely difficult. It's a choice, but it's also extremely difficult, especially because of the other things that are happening or the other things that happened in their lives, right? It's not natural for us to implement certain habits, right? Unless we've been doing it for since we were little and for years and years and years and years. And that's why it's so hard to break a habit, right?
Mhm.
So if you have this habit of not focusing on the finances then, right? For many, many years, and then someone comes to you and says, listen, you have to be disciplined in order to get to this goal that you have in your business, in your life, this financial goal that you have. Now, it's so hard to just get up one day and be like, I'm choosing this new habit, right? It's very difficult to start on your own, right? And that is why I really encourage doing this with someone else, right? Accountability is so real, right? We break promises to ourselves all the time. But if I say to you, Briar, listen, I want to build my business to the point where I can have all this freedom that I want in my life, right? I can do whatever I want, go wherever I want, etc. Whatever your goals are. And I say to you, would you like or could you be my accountability partner? Because these are my goals. This is really what I want to do. And I'd love for you to hold me accountable because we're okay with disappointing ourselves, but we are not like we will not disappoint someone else. Human nature, right? And so if you're holding me accountable and you're expecting me to do these daily habits that I said I was going to do and I want to be held accountable for, I bet you I'll do it, right? And so that's the workaround, if you will, because I'm telling you, 99% of us are not going to do it on our own, whether neurotypical or not, or neurodiverse or not, we are not going to do it. So, getting into the habit or building the habit of doing it with someone else helping you to be accountable, I think is a great first step for anyone to start their journey around, being on top of the finances and building that financially successful business.
So there's trust and vulnerability here, right?
Oh gosh, yes,
Because you have to be able to trust your accountability partner. You have
yes,
to be able to be vulnerable and accountability partner, body doubling for your money, like whatever you want to call it that makes you feel good about doing the work, do it.
yes.
How do we cultivate that trust?
So it definitely has to be with someone who you trust implicitly, right? And also someone who will not let you off the hook, right? Because you know how sometimes you're friends with someone and you're like, listen, I want to do this thing, whatever it is. Like, I want to start this exercise plan. I'm going to be walking 50 minutes every single day, and you're going to hold me accountable, right? And then they say, yes, I'll be your accountability buddy. And then one morning you wake up and you're like, oh, I don't feel like walking this morning. If that person is going to be like, oh, it's okay, take the day out, you know what I mean? Like, that's not an accountability partner. That's more like a enabling partner. Somebody who enables your
Don't
habit.
call me for accountability.
You're like, no, that's okay. Tomorrow's another day. And then before you know it, a whole week passes and you don't do that simple thing, right? So it has to be somebody that you trust implicitly. And that's why a lot of people have coaches, right? Maybe your biz bestie who is a no nonsense kind of person. Maybe it's somebody who is who you're aspiring to be like them. They're making the kind of money you want to make, or they're building the kind of business that you want to build. Whatever it is, has to be somebody who's really serious as well, right? And if you're doing it for both of you, so if you're doing it for them and they're doing it for you, again, if you're serious about it, this will work, right? And so, having that, creating that kind of relationship with someone else who will hold you accountable, won't take any BS, and be like, I will be there for you, but you have to be serious about this. Then I think you can do it.
And the more that we have the ability to have these conversations with someone else outside of just our own head, the more clarity we gain, right?
For sure. And that person could also be, you could bounce ideas off of each other, right? And so I'm the kind of, like, I have some friends that we have accountability, or we check in with each other. And sometimes we have like conversations about ideas that we have that we want to implement in our businesses. Whether it's, oh, I want to offer this new product or this new service, or I want to make this amount of money this week and I'm not sure. And we brainstorm. I've had so many brainstorming sessions over DMs, right? Just talking to my friends about, what they want to do in their businesses, and with real results. Like, one of my business friends, she added over $12,000 a month in her business just by us talking back and forth, being accountable, holding each other accountable, and bouncing ideas off of each other, right? So I know that it works for, building that trust, building that relationship, and having somebody be there with you hand in hand to help you to get to that next level.
So, when we talk about clarity, what is going to bring us the most clarity?
Um, that's a good question. Um, I think that we have to be realistic, right? I know in some worlds people are like, don't face reality." With your numbers and with your finances, let's face reality, right? First of all, let's see where we are. Yes, I know where you want to go, but where are you right now? And so that's the first, like, step number one to clarity, right? Taking a look at your finances, seeing exactly where you are. Then you start the journey into, okay, these numbers aren't what I would like for them to be. Um, I'm at point A and I want to get to point B. How do I get there? Right. And so, what I usually do is I look at my income, I look at my expenses, and start working there without even thinking about, I need to make more money, I need to sell this thing, whatever. And then you can even say, um, I've sold 30 of this thing and people are raving about it. It's probably time to increase my prices. Boom. Clarity already around, okay, this is the work I'm doing in the world. This is the impact I'm having. I believe that the value should go up, right? And I'm sure that there are people who would be paying you for that higher price anyway, right? Then you take a look at your expenses. It could be you're paying for two subscriptions for the same thing. I've seen it so many times, right? You're paying for something that you thought you were no longer paying for. Your expenses are inflated. They're over 50% of your income, right? And you start to, look at, okay, I'm clear on my expenses. I would like to bring them down. How can I do that? Right? And then you take a look at your bottom line. If your income is not where you want it to be and your expenses aren't where you want it to be, 100% of the times your bottom line is not where you want it to be, right? Be clear on the bottom line. What profit margins? The standard is 15 to 30%. I want to make sure that I keep 15 to 30% of my income as profit, right? How do I do that? And so that's the first thing, right? After you've increased the prices, and I'm giving you like some strategies here, Briar, and I hope that your audience will implement some of them, right? Then you start thinking about how many more of my products or services, how many more clients do I need to bring on? Because I would like for my revenue to be at this level, right? And then you start again doing the math. If my revenue is at this level and my expenses are 30 to 50%, then my profit will be this number. Okay, how can I bring in this revenue? All right, I have this recurring revenue coming in. I know that's coming in every month for the next 6 months. I need to go out and sell three more of these packages, or five more of these packages, or 100 more of these products to bring this money in, right? And then you become laser focused. How do you become laser focused? You put your sales and marketing, you know, implement your sales and marketing, right? And you keep track. Let me say that again. And you keep track. You cannot say, I want to make $30,000 a month, and right now I'm making $10,000. So I need to make these sales. But then you're not keeping track. So now, close to the end of the month, you're like, let me go look at my bank account. Like, that's not how you keep track, my friends, right? You have to say, this is what I want to make. This is how much I'm expecting to come in. This is how much came in, right? These are my projections. These are my actuals. I'm 5,000 away from my goal. I have 3 days left in the month. What do I need to do to bring in this additional $5,000? Let me tell you, there's Briar, I could talk about this all day because clarity around your finances is everything. It's everything in your business. When you're clear, like I my clients, the have been able to hit goals over and over and over again using this exact strategy, right? Being clear on your numbers, knowing how much you need to bring in to run your business, pay yourself well, keep expenses low, and have a good profit margin. And then you go out and you literally keep track of it. Some months you're going to fall a little short, some months you're going to go over, but I promise you, doing that will get you closer to your goals than just not paying any attention to it.
I do not recall who said it, but one of my favorite phrases is a goal without a plan is just a wish.
Yes, I've heard that too, and I totally agree.
You can't have a plan without having clarity
Yes,
around the steps required to accomplish the plan. And even though no plan survives the field of battle, you still have to have one. You
yes,
still have to be able to say, this is the number I need to hit. This is how I intend to try and do that.
yes,
Will you be successful every time? No, no. Will you be successful more times than if you did not have clarity,
yes.
though? 100% of the time.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And you feel so accomplished, right? You feel so accomplished when well, maybe it's just me, but when I see those numbers and I'm like, oh, this is where I am, and I celebrate with my accountability partner, right? I'm like, oh, you won't believe I'm at this number and I just need this amount to get to my goal. And should I stretch myself? Should I set a stretch goal? Or like all these things that happen in real time, like all the strategy that happens in real time when you're actually taking some action towards your goals. right? And I know that a lot of people might be looking on and be like, you know, you know, it's not all about money and goals, right? It's a huge part of running a business. Money is a huge part of running a business, and that's not all there is to it. But let me tell you something. When you focus on the numbers, the clarity, the action, the plan, right? All the other things, all the other intangibles literally fall into place, right? And you're able to do all these other things in your business. Because I know that a lot of people are like, take the emotion out of it, take the emotion out of it. I There's emotion in my business, right? I love my clients. I care about them. I want them to succeed. I want to provide the most amazing service, right? And I take that personally, right? And I want to make a lot of money. So I definitely feel like some people feel like if I focus too much on the money and too much on the numbers, it will seem like I'm only in it for the money. And I dare say that's so not true. You are the one who's running your business. You're the one who knows, how your clients feel about working with you, right? How your customers feel about using your products. So, I feel like we have, especially women entrepreneurs, we have this thing about not being seen as greedy and only in it for the money. But I also feel like if you're not in it for the money and you're not focusing on it, you cannot build a sustainable business.
No, and I think that that is the part that clarity gives us, is the freedom to understand truly what it is that we need, what it is that we would like to have, and
Yeah.
what it is that we need to get to those points, right?
Yeah.
You can't, if you don't have an actual number, and I mean an exact number, there is no clarity around what it is that your business must do for you.
Yeah, for sure. If you're winging it, if you're like, whatever comes, I'll take it. It's very, very um difficult to grow, right? Because a lot of times companies do not grow in terms of income, right? Um, don't grow because there's no strategy, right? You could be running your business and being comfortable and not really doing anything other than say, I'm okay with where I am. I'm okay with the customers and the clients that I have. I'm okay with this coming in. And you could be selling the same product for 3 years for the same price. While there's inflation, while there's, increase in value in in the products and services that you provide, while there's so much going on that you're not paying attention to, right? And you're just, you might be fine with what's coming in. Now that could be your hobby. And so that's not the person I'm talking to. If you have a hobby and you're like, I just want to, I this brings me so much joy and I just want to share the joy with other people. And I don't really want to bring, have a multiple six-figure or $1 million business doing this. Amazing, right? But if this is your um business that you want to build a large business, you want to build a sustainable business, you want to leave a legacy, you want to build generational wealth, like you have huge, big financial dreams, then you absolutely, starting today, have to start getting clear on your money and implementing these really simple daily habits that will help you to get there. I do not expect anyone to just be not clear on their money this second and then next second, getting it all together. That's not how, it works. But it's like eating cheeseburgers today and just having grass and, veggies tomorrow. It's not going to work, right? You will fall right back into the old habits. So just those little baby steps that I spoke about earlier, getting you from not looking to at least opening an Excel spreadsheet, to at least connecting your bank account to a free app, a free finance tracker app. you know, to at least like taking those little baby steps to start, seeing the picture of your business and of your finances. And then reaching out to someone and say, I really want to do this. Do you want to do this together? Will you hold me accountable and I hold you accountable? No BS. Just really and truly, wanting to get to this goal that I have. And this is what I need to get there. I think that would be amazing. That's how you build a sustainable business, a financially successful business.
And if I do all of those things, it
Mhm.
leads me to the next level of Nicole's ecosystem, which is having confidence in my money. And we're going to talk about that next time, because you can't get confident if you don't have clarity.
Absolutely. 100%.
God, y'all, it feels daunting. It's hard, but we're gonna say hello to our money today. We are gonna open our bank accounts. We are going to say, hello there, money. How can we have a better relationship with each other so that we can tell a different story?
Yes.
All right, my friend. I appreciate you. This is absolutely spectacular. And I'm really excited to get to the confidence stage with you next time, because I think that's where more people would like to be. And, you know, if we can see what the horizon and the future looks like, we are more likely to get there. All
Yes.
right, y'all.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it, Briar. Thank you so much.
Thank you. This has been the Neurodiversity Media Network. You can find us at neurodiversitymedianetwork.com. If you would like to purchase 5 Minute Bookkeeper through our affiliate link, that is briarharvey.com/5mbk. I will leave that link in the comments and in the show notes. And we will be back here next time for confidence. It's going to be amazing, y'all. All right. Have a great day.